All right, there we go. So three, two, and one. Well, Mayor Zacher, this is it. You've made it through year one.
Year one, 8 months in. I
Yeah,
like that.
8 months
Eight
in.
months
Well, we're
in.
gonna round up. We're giving you the
Yeah, yeah.
benefit of
I
the
think it's
doubt.
good.
Mayor's Monday here at WSAU, WSAU.com. How are your bridge lighting skills these days?
Well, I would say that they're excellent.
Okay.
I think everybody in the community was excited. Well, again, it's always touch and go because it's an expensive project, and that money came out of a TID money financing. So, but in the end, there's some naysayers about the finances, but when you see it, it's beautiful. And
Hmm.
when the lights go off at night for whatever reason, it's not as beautiful as it is when it's lit up. So it makes a huge difference, and so we're excited about that. And we lit it up during Rekindle the Spirit, and it's kind of interesting because the lights and all the hardwire stuff all went well. I think we're still having figuring out some of the programming stuff. So I worked real well with Econ, which was our electrical company, and good guys in town here, and they take good care of everybody. But in the end, I had my phone in my pocket on a three-way call, and they were standing at the switches. And
Hmm.
when I counted down from 10 to 0, they needed 9 seconds to flip the switch and for it to go on. So we were all very excited when we counted to 0 as the big crowd and turned
Hmm.
around and saw the lights go on, and everybody cheered, and I cheered just as hard as them for
Well,
different
it
reasons.
was it was a little delay though. Once you hit zero, there was a couple seconds where everybody's heart stopped a bit. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, when I started at 10, they flipped the switch at
Oh,
9 and we
sure,
counted
sure.
all the way down. And when we got to 0, they went on. So
Awesome.
that was pretty awesome. And a lot of people did a lot of hard work to get those on. And, it's not exactly the safest job, in terms of how you get down on the side of a bridge and you do that. So there's a lot of hard work. And I think a lot goes into the programming and getting that all right. But we're going
Hmm.
to be able to have different, shows for it. And hopefully we're going to work with somebody in the city here and put some music to it at different times of the year. And they're going to be on pretty much year round, and I think it's going to be a great addition to the downtown and our entire city area.
Yeah, anything that you can do to bring people in to say, "Hey, I haven't seen that before. Maybe I need to go down and check that out," is a good thing. I guess that's what you would call community building, right?
Yeah, I think so. Kyle Kearns in the community develop does a good job, and he talks about placemaking all the time. And I always have to have him explain what that means to the people that don't understand what that means. But ultimately, just saying, like you said, building that community spirit, saying this is our home, we take pride in it, build excitement around being in the downtown area. We got some great restaurants and bars down there. We want to see more people come down and enjoy that area. There's going to be a lot more development going on, master plans coming into effect this year. So we have a lot of irons in the fire and people at the table that try to help continue to make things progress in the downtown area.
Yeah, and another thing that you're progressing on right now is the demolition of the mill, which, if you ask me, that's going to change the skyline of Wisconsin Rapids. You know what skyline there is down there. That's gonna be a huge change for the community, and I know some people might be kind of driving by there and thinking, "Wait a minute, there's nothing going on there. What are we doing here?" So I guess let us know, what are we doing right now at the
Well,
mill as you look
yeah,
out your
so
office.
right. So we had given them the city permits, again, kind of figuring all the I's and T's and got all that squared away. And then they immediately got into getting the permits for the removal of all the asbestos in there because there's a lot of it. So they had to go through all the DNR and EPA permitting in order to get all set up on that. And they're doing a great job. They're doing their due diligence, and they're biding their time. They don't start until they have the legal permits in place and all. So they just got those in effect, signed off in the last week or so. And so they've been doing the testing on the asbestos. So they knew exactly what they needed to do. So they've been working hard on getting all that out of there safely for everybody. And that's a big process. And once that happens, then they're going to start taking the stuff that's inside the building out, copper, stainless steel, all the stuff that they can make immediate money on it. And then from there, they got to take the buildings down in order to get all the steel out. That's good news for us because if you got to, take the buildings down to get the steel out, they recycle the steel, they come through and grind up the the cement into road base again so they can sell that off. You know, and that leaves open space for us in the end, 250 acres of prime real estate to redevelop. Looks like manufacturing is kind of biting at the rein there to get in and get some of the electricity that's there from Quebco and start building their buildings and putting their machines in. So we're pretty excited about that. And again, it's a sad occasion also because you're coming in from the other side of town from Buren,
Mhm.
you can see this big picture of this mill, from a distance across the river. And, that beautiful is one way to put it, but, it's awe-inspiring in a way to think about what it took to build that and put it up there and what they did with it and the people in the city that work there and what they created over the last 100 years is it's pretty awe-inspiring, all in all, the people and the building itself. So it's sad to see it go, but at the same time, if it doesn't go and it just sits there, it's going to get more and more depressing, and we're not going to want that. So the MRD is doing a good job helping us out for the future of our city.
Yeah, and again, it's going to be a while before we know what, if anything, will go in there because chances are those discussions are going to happen and are going to get to a certain point before you even know that they are happening. The state could be doing some work in there. There could be other work that gets done. So you might not know what actually is or could become there until at a certain point in the process.
Yeah, CRG's been really, really hospitable in terms of letting us be a part of the conversation, working closely with Kyle. Kyle talks to me, regularly, so we kind of know what's happening, who's looking at what. They don't have to necessarily do that, but I think I said from the get-go in my campaign, like we're gonna have the most benefit for our community if we work together and we listen and communicate together and kind of come up with solutions together and then trust each other. If I get on the news and I start saying stuff that I shouldn't say, I'm going to break some trust. So I always kind of, walk that fine line of letting people know what's up, but also respecting, the private sector and what they're working on behind the scenes.
What was that you said about an Amazon warehouse?
Yeah, nothing.
You sure?
No,
I don't know. I think I heard something about an Amazon warehouse.
no, that's the headphone on your
Oh, okay.
playing tricks
Okay.
with your ears.
Yeah. It's the Bluetooth in the headphones. Yeah, that must be it. Yeah. And another thing that you got going for you. I mean, that's one thing that obviously has taken up a lot of your time here, as you said, in the first 8 months on the job. What else is you kind of put a wrap on 2024? Do you say that the city has been successful with?
Well, you never really know, but obviously the last half of the year really revolves around budget. This was my first time inside the operations with the budget, and I learned a lot about how many more moving parts there are than I really know, how you have to trust people, but at the same time verify and really dive into what you can do to bring down the overall cost of the operations of the city, knowing you got to pay all this money out for the roads that, everybody would love brand new roads all the way around, but we got 150 miles of roads in the city, and you can only do a mile to 2 miles every year, depending on how much work you're putting into it. And it costs a ton of money in order to do it, and it's only going up and up. So it's tricky, but the budget was good. We brought our debt burden that we were taking out for roads down quite a bit this year, and actually lowered the overall operations some. So I think it's a win-win. And there's always the outliers that you kind of want to try to work out the details on. The aldermen had some issues with the Humane Society and some of the money there, but everybody came together and kept it civil and talked about, in the big part, we need the Humane Society, and ultimately the Humane Society needs us, or at least the animals that, are coming to them. So it's a win-win on both sides. We just have to make sure we don't take each other for granted and respect each other and communicate
Mhm.
effectively in order to get to the
Yeah,
bottom
and
line of the deal.
especially at a time like this, you don't want anybody's pet outside overnight in the
Yeah.
conditions that we've been seeing here as we record this on last Thursday. Temperatures single digits below zero. You don't want the animals outside in that. You want them to have a safe place to go when they are found, so that way they can get back to their families as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it's always I think it goes, as you were speaking, I was thinking it goes along the lines with a lot of things I learned in the last 8 months is, even as an alderman, I didn't necessarily drive through the city and understand how much the workers of the city were doing on a day-to-day basis to make everything run and go and function while we're busy running, living our lives, going to work, taking care of the home life, the kids. And I think we take the Humane Society and what they do a little bit for granted because there's not every now and again you see a dog or a cat and you're like, oh, that's interesting. I don't see that very often where they're just walking, with no owner or anything. And
Hmm.
but that's them behind the scenes. Just they get a phone call or the police pick one up and bring it out to the Humane Society, and they do their due diligence to find their owner and get them back home or find them a new home. And all that stuff kind of happens behind the scenes without you ever really thinking about it. And I think that's why, there's people that just love the Humane Society and love the animals. And, from my side, from the operational side, I respect the fact that it's taken care of and it's done and we can make it work. And again, just respecting each other and listening and instead of just talking all the time, listening and coming to an agreement and understanding and moving forward from there. So
Hmm. As always, you're talking to somebody who is a proud cat
yeah,
dad. In fact, I have a picture of my cat on my desk. So my
very cool.
general rule is about once or twice a year when I buy the cat food, it's one bag for him, a couple bags that go to the Humane Society and just get sat there.
Nice.
Go feed the ones that are looking for homes. That's the way I try to be a philanthropist every now and then. So you're absolutely speaking my language there.
It's awesome.
Take
Yeah.
care of, yeah, take care of the animals, and they will certainly take care of you as well. One more thing before we let you go, you want to get more people involved in city government, city policy making, and you're looking not necessarily for alders to run. You're actually just kind of looking for citizen volunteers to step up and be part of the committees or the commissions coming into the new year as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's some people out there that, since I've been mayor and while I was running for mayor, they kind of come up with this conspiracy type things, kind of where like everybody in the government knows each other, a good old boys network, and the residents don't matter, businesses don't matter. And I haven't found that in the 3 years I've been, 4 years now that I've been a part of it. It's people that are willing to volunteer and run for office, put themselves out there to be yelled at or cheered for. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to do, and the pay is what it is. It's government work. But I do need people to understand, like, so there were some boards that when I first got on, I had to fill a bunch of seats on commissions or committees or boards, and you put out there on the web page or on the Facebook what the what the commissions and boards are and what they're about, and you don't really get any responses, and you don't really know how to reach out to everybody in order to get them to understand that this is just people like us in the community that get together, that volunteer to listen, understand better, learn, and then make decisions that affect the whole community. And then I end up calling people that I know, and then it gets back to this, well, it's only people that, it's all the good old boys network, but in the end, you try to call people like that, that are involved in something that they would be interested in it. So outside of that, what I'm trying to say is I appreciate you giving me the time to put it out there that please call in. If you're from Wisconsin Rapids, call into the city and tell them you want to be a part of a board or a commission that you would appreciate being a part of, to be able to have the conversations and talk and make decisions for people. And that way it's not just people that I know, because I only know limited people. So I'm going to run out of people at some point in time.
Exactly.
But it
That
is nice. I meet people, they introduce me to other people, and in that sense, we've been able to fill these, and I want to build the excitement around it. Like, if we don't do it, nobody's going to do it for us. That's the way our government is designed. We, the people, run our government. And if you don't like how the people in there are doing it, then you vote them out and vote new people in, and you keep moving forward and making decisions and governing ourselves.
Exactly. And this is, I mean, you don't know where something like this can take you. Again, Matt, you are a small business owner that
Yep.
just happened to get on the city council, and now all of a sudden here you are with the corner office at City Hall. Well, it's not quite a corner office, but it's close
Not
enough.
sure it's a triangle, so yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
something right now.
Triangle City Hall. So yeah, well, there really is. It's really more of a middle office, but right there you are sitting in the mayor's seat because somebody said, "Hey, Matt, I think you'd be really good at this."
Yeah, and the fact that everybody in my life supported it to give me the opportunity to do it, because it's not easy. It is a 24/7 job, and you try to set your boundaries and all that, but ultimately you have the title. Well, while you're elected, it's your title day and night. So
Mm,
yeah, it's pretty interesting. I never would
exactly.
have seen
So
that.
it's a great way to get involved at the ground floor. I know a lot of these committees and commissions, some of them might only meet once a quarter or once every couple of months. So it might not even be that big of a time commitment, but it's still is something that could open doors for you to really make a difference in your community.
Yeah, some of them are even once a year, like the assessments, the board of review. And I am looking for somebody for the board of review, helps to have attorneys or, realtors, people that know a little bit more about real estate. But then most of them, if they do meet, it's gonna be once a month, and then you do some due diligence to make phone calls and talk to people, and just so you have a better idea as to what's being talked about at that meeting once a month, that helps, and just being a part of the conversation in the community.
Well, Mayor Zacher, we always appreciate the time. Congratulations on making it to the end of your first year in office, and we will look forward to chatting again next year.
Sure, yeah, I appreciate it, Michael. I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and thank you for all your hospitality. I appreciate you having me here.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you and yours as well. We will look forward to seeing you again in 2025.
You too. Thanks, Michael.
Uh,